It's the beginning of another awesome week. I hope the month of June is about rounding up, and I hope that you've been able to achieve all that you've set out to achieve in this month. Of course, the year 2023 is gradually winding down. On that note, I welcome to Nigeria Super Fans Forum. My name remains Ashalolu Afemi. This is where we will talk about everything regarding African football. James Agberebi is here, and of course, the Under-23 Africa Cup of Nations kicked off in Morocco over the weekend. And of course, Nigeria is not there, but Ghana are there. And of course, the Black Meteors, they got their campaign under with a victory over Congo. So we'll be talking about a lot of that. And in Nigeria today, we'll be shifting focus on the Super Eagles coach, Jose Pesero. His contract is expected to, of course, expire in the next few days. And we'll be looking at his performance, if it deserves a renewal from the Nigeria Football Federation. So, James Agberebi, you're welcome. It's going to be another exciting time on the program today.
Yeah, thank you very much, Femi. Happy to be on today's edition.
Okay, so quickly, let's get talking about Jose Pesero, James. Of course, he's been trying to, or he has avoided, not even trying to, he has avoided questions regarding his future with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And remember, he took charge of the team exactly about a year ago during that friendly tour of the US, where we played friendly against Mexico and Canada, and we lost both. And now, James, he's played 10 matches, lost 6, and won just 4. So if you have to look at that like key performance index, KPI, you would say it's below average. And within that period, or in those games, those 10 matches, the Super Eagles of Nigeria have scored 18 goals. They've conceded 15 and kept only 2 clean sheets. And the 18 goals also included the 10-0 bashing that Sao Tome and Principe received in the hands of the Super Eagles of Nigeria in the AFCON qualifier. James, let's look at Jose Pesero's performance objectively. If you were a student, will he be asked to repeat the class? Or what do you think? 10 matches, 6 losses, and only just 4 wins.
Well, for me, if you want to go by that stat, you say it's I think the best decision is for him to be kicked out. But one thing you need to understand is he has qualified the Super Eagles for the AFCON. That was his number 1 assignment. You check out those friendlies. Most of those defeats came in friendly games against the likes of Portugal, Algeria, Mexico. You know, those are friendly games. Ecuador, you know. So he lost those games against top side, but the most important one before him was the AFCON qualifier, which he has delivered. But having said that, if you want to also judge the way the team has played, nobody will be impressed, especially the way they were bashed by Portugal, the way they lost in some games that you expect them to do well. So it now comes to the question of, like, when they come up against decent sides, these are very decent sides. So it just goes to show that the team, there's still a lot of work to be done. Fine, they've qualified for the AFCON, but why is it that when they come up against this side, that when they put up good performance against the Super Eagles, they tend to struggle? You know, I mean, they played against Mexico, they lost. They played against Ecuador, they played against Portugal. You know, all these teams kind of
also lost to Guinea-Bissau.
Lost to Guinea-Bissau.
Let's not forget, yeah.
You know, so for me, it's a two-way thing. Fine, the most important thing is the main assignment for him was the AFCON qualifier, which he did with a game to spare. But again, you cannot overlook these performances, these games that he lost. I mean, he played all these top teams and you just lost all of them. You did not even manage to even get a draw. You just lost all of them. So for me, I don't know. It's going to be very difficult because, one, you have to cut him some slaps. He has done the main assignment, qualify for the AFCON. We don't want to go the way of Genotro, where what if you bring in somebody now, at the end of the day, you don't get the best, you know? So for me, it's a dicey one. If you just like what I said, if you look at the stats, you'll be tempted to want him to be kicked out. But at the same time, you have to look at what is on the ground now. I mean, I think he should still, based on what he was able to achieve, I think he should still be considered for the Super Eagles job.
Okay, but James, let's look at the bigger picture. he's consistently been saying that he wants to win the 2023 AFCON for Nigeria, or 2024
Yeah.
AFCON for Nigeria. Now, let's look at it, James. All the teams that Nigeria have played with in the qualifiers, all of them have been below the Super Eagles ranking in Africa, even around the world.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that should be a red flag. What do you think?
Yeah, just like what I said, Femi. The games he lost in the friendly games, he lost to decent side, well organized, very good sides. So what that is telling us is against because you're going to meet
against the likes of Ghana, against the likes of Morocco,
yes, against the
likes of Senegal,
Nigeria, Egypt. You're going to meet all these teams. These are very decent teams. So that's a red flag. I'm not trying to overlook that. That was my own fear that when he came up against this very good side in friendly games, they couldn't do anything. They lost all the games. But when it came to the likes of Guinea-Bissau, the likes of Sao Tome, the likes of Sierra Leone, you saw the way they got victory. So which means they cannot act it against the best sides. So for me, like I said, it's the dicey one for the Super Eagles. But this idea of hiring and firing, and at the end of the day, you still get the same thing. So let's just leave him for now. And for me, I think the AFCON should be the best bet in terms of to judge him by. Use the AFCON as the yardstick to judge, just like what happened to Betty Vooks in 2007. After the dismal outing at Ghana 2008, he was fired. So let's allow this man to take the team to the AFCON. He said he's going to win the AFCON. Maybe he's seeing something that we are not seeing. So let's wait after the World Cup.
Are you
maybe
serious?
The big shock. So let's just leave it at that.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about Victor Osimhen. James, over the weekend, he won the Best African International Award in Ghana Football Award. Now, James, yes, everything has been coming for this young man. He's won a lot of personal accolades this year. Remember, he won the Best Foreign Athlete Award in Italy. He won the Best Striker. He won the Top Scorer, and a lot of personal recognition. Of course, remember, he was also given I think an OFR in Nigeria. James, will it be criminal now if at the end of the day, in January or February or March next year, whenever the CAF Best Players Award will be held, that Osimhen will not be handed that gun? Is it going to be criminal for CAF not to do that?
I mean, with CAF, you can never tell when it comes to CAF. I remember there was an interview Mikel Obi did, where he said they told him he had won the African Footballer of the Year. That was 2013. All of a sudden, for him to get to the award, and it was handed over, it was given to Yaya Toure. So you never can tell. That's the one thing about the CAF award. For me, I think he's a strong contender. He should be in the final top 3. Whether he's going to win it is another kettle of fish. Because you tell that you have the like. Yes, it should be in the final top 3. And from there, anything can happen. You will now leave it to
which other player, which other African player? See, we need to get serious here. Which other African player do you think has achieved what Osimhen has achieved in the last 9 months?
Yeah, if you want to judge by that, you want to give it to Osimhen. But like I said, this is CAF. CAF can come up with a shocker. They are very good when it comes to shock everybody. They've done it in the past, and I don't think they are out of business when it comes to shocking everybody. They are still in it. So like I said, based on what he did, I mean, look at the record. He became the first African to finish top scorer.
They will banish you from Africa.
He became the top African Footballer of the Year. In Syria, it has never happened before. He broke George Weah's record. He broke
125-year history.
Record. And he topped it
George Weah's record.
The league. Yeah. So it goes to show that he was a key factor for the for Napoli. Exactly. There are other guys too who have a say in this award, likes of Yassine Bono of Morocco and Sevilla, El Nesri of Morocco also, and Sevilla also. You have a certain Riyad Mahrez, a treble winner. But my own argument there about Mahrez has always been that even without Mahrez in that Manchester City team, I think that team can still do something. He was just a very good backup in that team. with or without him, that they would have achieved what they were able to achieve. Not taking anything away from Riyad Mahrez. He had a very good contribution in that City's treble-winning feat. But like I said, Femi, I want to believe that Osimhen, when the list is out and is thrown down to the final three, I want to believe he will still be in the running. Whether he's going to win it, based on what I said about CAF, I think we leave everything in the hands of God.
Okay. James, let's go to Ghana now. Of course, over the weekend, like I said in the intro, the under-23 Africa Cup of Nations kicked off in Morocco, and of course the Black Meteors.
I'm sorry to cut you, Femi. Femi. Congratulations to Osimhen. He won the best international what is it called in Ghana Football Awards. He beat
that was what I talked about before we brought it.
Mohamed Salah. So good one for him. Good to show that the award recognizes the best when it comes to additional awards. So congratulations to Osimhen, and congratulations also to the organizers of the Ghana Football Awards.
Yeah, you can say that again, and I think CAF should hold that line. Give it to whoever is worthy. Let's go back to the under-23 AFCON now, James. The Black Meteors were leading 3-0, and before we could take a sip of water, it was already 3-2.
Yeah.
And of course, Coach Ibrahim Tanko, during the press conference, the post-match press conference, he was really furious with his players, and he said they need to learn how to manage games. And quickly, I hear what he said. I'm so angry with my players. How could we fail to manage the game well and finish like this? I think my players had forgotten that we were playing a major tournament to let in 2 goals towards the end of the match. He said so. But I think they have Emmanuel Emenike to thank, James. A brace and an assist for Noama. Very good one for the Black Meteors. Whether, of course, they let in 2 goals or whatever, the 3 points is the most important thing. And right now, they're topping their group.
Yeah, I think congratulations to them. At least, which better way to start a tournament other than getting a win against a decent Congo side. I think it was just a lapse of concentration. They just felt they've won, but that's the funny thing about football. You never can tell. Once the opposition gets a goal, you kind of spot them on which
2 goals in 2 minutes, 93 and 94 minutes.
No, yeah, even I didn't mean there's more time. Who knows? The Congolese would have, equalized. That's one funny thing about football. But would have been disastrous. But I think it should serve as eye opener for them that even if you are ahead by 4-0, anything can happen. Remember what happened between Super Eagles and Sierra Leone? From 4 goals down, Sierra Leone came back and they almost won the game. So the Black Meteors, I believe that they would have learned 1 or 2 things here. The most important thing is they got the victory going into the next game against Morocco on Tuesday. I think they would have learned that if you are ahead, you don't take your foot off the pedal. You have to keep concentration at high level. So the coach has every reason to be angry, because they almost drew that game. I didn't believe there was still more time.
That was the 3 points, yeah.
The momentum was with Congo. The unfortunate thing was that there was no much time. If not, the panic, tension, pressure would have, affected the Black Meteors players, But a good thing that the goals came very late in the game. They were able to see it out. I believe that they would have learned 1 or 2 things. And also from the bashing they got from the coach, they would have learned a lot. Because now they're going to play against the host. It's going to be a very tough encounter.
Yeah.
And they have a big before them. So I believe that they would have recovered from that near shock and move on from there.
James, I think flesh and blood has not really revealed that to you, because I could imagine the words of Coach Ibrahim Tanko to those players, in the dressing room after the game. But let's talk about Emmanuel Emenike. James, I think he has a lot of things in common with Asamoah Gyan. I think it's his instinct about ability to smell goals, as well as the ability to dance, because I saw a lot of dancing after each of the goals. But before the game, on a serious note now, Asamoah Gyan said something about him, and he told everyone to watch out for him. And of course, Emmanuel Emenike actually proved that to be right.
Yes, if somebody like Asamoah Gyan should, start talking about a player, a striker in particular, it goes to show that he has seen something. He was a world-class player during his playing days. So for him to pick out a particular player and start talking about that player, which means that player has something good in him. And Emmanuel Emenike was able to prove that against Congo, getting a brace and assist in the first game, which means he's going to be a marked man now, because for somebody to, it's not easy. when I think he's the only player now with 2 goals so far in the tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
No. I think a Moroccan player.
Oh,
the keeper, the 2-1. Yeah. So himself and the Moroccan skipper, they both have 2 goals, but the Moroccan skipper, I think he got his own goals from the penalty.
They had to come from behind. Morocco had to come from behind to get their victory.
Yeah, so good one for Emmanuel Emenike. I hope that he will keep doing well in the tournament, because, like I told you, Femi, the Black Stars, the Ghana football national team, they are not known for prolific goal scorers. But when you talk of good defenders, wingers, world-class midfielders, you get them. But prolific stars, they always come once in a lifetime. They just come, they stay for a very long time, and they go. But you don't get them. Oh, they don't come much like that, So I just hope that you do well, so that at least the Black Stars will be able to look onto somebody that they can bank on. He's still a young player. He still has a lot to learn. And I believe that with the right tutorial, he's going to be a top player.
Yeah, I think we should also watch out for Noama, because that young guy, that 19-year-old guy who plays for the Danish side, very, very exciting player to watch. I think this team, these are Black Meteors, they have very, very promising players. And I think for Emmanuel Emenike, the second goal particularly was after 2 penalties were missed. And it could have been an opportunity lost, James, because they had to retake the penalty twice because of encroachment. But of course, thank God that, of course, they were able to get the needed win. So we need to watch out for Noama and, of course, for Emmanuel Emenike in this tournament for the Black Meteors. James, let's talk about club football in Ghana. Controversy is always there, but this one seems to be on a top notch, so to say. Now let's talk about the King Faisal. Of course, we all know that King Faisal have been relegated from the Premier League, but they are fighting. They are fighting to get back. And of course, this time is the owner of the club. I'm talking about Alhaji Grocer. If you could remember or cast your mind back, it was this same Alhaji Grocer who threw some shades at journalists who brought out the issue of the fact that some persons were paid $10,000 after the 2022 FIFA World Cup, those who, in quotes now, escorted the Black Stars to the tournament. But now he's calling out Dr. Okraku, the GFA president. He said Okraku has not added any value to Ghanaian football, just because he said Okraku promised to help King Faisal to avoid relegation. James, I think that alone on itself is a serious indictment. Now, what happened? King Faisal, they have a case. They were taken to a committee, but they lost that appeal. Quickly, I'll read what he said. He said Dr. Okraku should resign from Ghana football. What has he done in Ghana football? He said, Dr. Okraku called me to his office. He made Gigi, that is someone else, the third party now, called me and asked him. He said he wants to help me because I don't have the case. And I asked why. I asked why I do not have the case. Call him and ask him. He gave us favor at the GFA office, me, him, and Mohamed Gigi. And he went up to say that. He said he should let us swear and say the reason why he called. He did not. He said the reason why he called. He did not call me. He made Gigi to call me. Now, what happened? Like I said, King Faisal, they're trying to prove a case before an appeal committee that one of the best Premier League teams who is still who survived relegation now, fielded an ineligible player, and now the appeal committee has thrown out that appeal. But he is now alleging that Dr. Okraku promised to help King Faisal escape relegation, and he has failed to fulfill that obligation. But now he's angry. James, what an indictment!
All what he just said, they are just allegations. There's no proof. If you call Dr. Okraku now, you two has his own. You two have something to see. That somebody promised to help you. Is it the court, or is he? I don't know what he was expecting from Okraku. So for me, these are just allegations. There are no proof to back it up that he promised him. If you ask him, like I said, if you ask the doctor too, he has something to see. So,
but he's saying there's a third party that anyone could call and ask.
Let the person call. Let the person call, and let's see hear what even if the third party to say whatever he has to say. I mean, you still the doctor too will have something also to say. So let the third party come out and give and shed more light on the issue.
Okay.
So for me,
okay,
when
okay.
I think it's just bitter about the whole issue. That's why it's coming out with all these allegations and
Okay, James, sorry to cut in, to shed more light on the situation. King Faisal, their grounds is that Tamale City fielded two unqualified players in the person of Isaac Mensah and Jire Kojonisi in one of their ties, in one of the Bepa Premier League games. So they are appealing to the committee to throw out Tamale City so that King Faisal can be reinstated. But now he has said he's going to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, that is ready to take the matter as far as that level.
Since he has decided to take the matter, then he should allow the court to do their thing. I mean, not come out and start telling us this person did this, this person promised to help him. Since you decide to take it to the court, allow the court to do their work. You don't do the work of the court. It's in court. That's what they later tell you. Once the matter is in court, you don't come out and start saying things. I mean, allow the court to do their work. If he believes in the court, then he should allow them do whatever they want to do. So just relax and stop throwing all these are, to me, these are just allegations. There are no proofs to back it up.
Okay, but my take from this is that Dr. Krotokraku occupies a very important or key office, so to say, and he needs to be watchful of what he says, because if a team, I know maybe because of the relationship with this Alhaji Grusa, maybe that was why he says so, but he should be mindful of whatever he says will be used against him. If a club has a case with a committee, he should have allowed the committee to do their jobs, rather than allegedly now promising that he was going to help Alhaji Grusa with his case in order to help King Faisal escape relegation. James, in other climb, this is more like an offense that he would be asked to resign. Really?
Well, okay, Femi, that's what I'm telling you, that there's no proof. There's no proof that the doctor said this. All these things is just what the King Faisal official just said. There's no proof that the doctor said this thing. There's no proof. Like the matter is already in court, so they should allow the court to do their thing, because it's just, to me, it's just pinned. It's just
no. The committee has struck out the appeal already.
It's possible that maybe the doctor would have said this thing behind the closed door or whatever. But I mean, you don't expect him to come out now and say, yes, I said it. You never expect that from him. The matter is in court. The court should handle it. If King Faisal, they have found their case, they are able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that they have a case, and they come out of, fine. Allow the court do their job. All this trying to say this person promised me this person promised me that. I mean, it doesn't change anything. The court will still have their say. So we should allow it be.
Okay, James, let's talk about Thomas Partey. He's 30, and clubs in Saudi Arabia have tabled a $200 million contract, worth of contract before him. $100 million every year, James, after tax. It's 30 years. Would you advise that Thomas Partey should take this, James? $100 million every year, James.
if I'm in relation to
Partey, I know Ghanaians have told him to jump at the offer, but he's looking at Juventus. I'm not sure Juventus can pay Thomas Partey 10 million euros per year.
Aside from Premier League, I don't think any other league they pay very high when it comes to money. I don't think nobody does it better than the Premier League. But when you take it out of Europe, that's why you talk about the Arab money. So for me, I think
all money.
Yes, he has something in his trophy cabinet. He has won the UEFA Cup. He won the UEFA Super Cup. Compared to Harry Kane, with all the goals, he has never won anything. So at least he has something to show for his effort as a footballer. So nothing stops him from making the millions. Look at a player like Oscar. He left Chelsea. Oscar, he left Chelsea, went to China, and is making good money. So I mean, this for me, I think Partey should see it as retirement. This is a big opportunity for him to rake in the millions, because as a footballer, if you're not winning trophies, at least be making money. That's why you're in football, to make money. So this is a big opportunity. He's not the only one that is going to Saudi Arabia. Koulibaly just joined the club in Saudi Arabia. N'Golo Kante has left. Ziyech, I think, is on the verge. Then this Wolves
Edouard
player,
Mendy,
they're all heading to Saudi Arabia. So
Ruben Neves,
yes, so
N'Golo Kante.
Partey's case should not be any different. I mean, he's not the only one going to Saudi Arabia. Top players are going in there to go there and make the money. I mean, there's money to be made there. So I would advise him, if I'm very close to him and in relation to Partey, I would advise him to take the offer and leave Arsenal immediately.
but this guy, man, James, is targeting Juventus. He wants to win the Serie A with Juventus.
Well, for me, and he has the final say. But for me, as a footballer, I mean, which other European club can pay this amount? I don't think there's any. You know, and with his age, I don't think
money should come before trophies, right? Money before trophies.
He has one trophy. He has 2 trophies in his cabinet: UEFA Cup and the UEFA Super Cup. Like, that's why I cited Harry Kane. Harry Kane has been banging in all the goals. He has nothing to show for his effort. So
but compared to someone like Benzema, who is tired of winning the Champions League.
Yes, so you have to. This is the time now, because the age, in terms of his age, it's only in Serie A where they use players in their 30s. But I think he has done well for himself, and nobody's going to query him if he's trying to make the money. I mean, football is big business, so what better way to cash in? So I expect Partey to leave Arsenal as soon as possible and go and make the millions.
Okay, Asamoah Gyan has also, of course, made his feelings known regarding this. He said, "I was enjoying my football, but Al Ain offered me wages that instantly made me the best paid footballer in Africa." He said, "I couldn't resist." James, I think Thomas Partey might eventually decide to jump at this offer. So quickly, in the Ghana Football Awards that we talked about, let's really tell you about the winners as we round up now. Mohamed Kudus won Footballer of the Year. Victor Osimhen, we told you earlier, won Best African International Award. Then Ernest Apianuama, Odette Lamte, of course, won Odette Lamte Future Star Award. Samson Eduku won Male Home-Based Footballer of the Year. And Mary Amposa, of course, won Female Home-Based Footballer of the Year. Eric Zeze won Goal of the Season. Abednego Tete, the high goal scorer, and the last season Premier League, of course, won Ghana Premier League Goal King Award. The Medema FC Male Team of the Year. Remember, they won the Ghana Premier League. And of course, we have Evans Adute, Men's Coach of the Year. Then Felix K won Goalkeeper of the Year award. James Agberebi, thank you for coming on the show today.
Yeah, thank you very much, Femi.
Okay, so our fans around the world, of course, will be monitoring closely transfer news regarding African stars. Of course, we've told you earlier that Mendy, Hakim Ziyech, of course, they are, and of course, Koulibaly, Khalid Koulibaly, they've all gone to Saudi Arabia. Okay, I think Ziyech is still in the pipeline, but those 2 guys, I think that deals have been completed now. Particularly about Thomas Partey, we'll get our fingers crossed as far as that is concerned. We'll see you all later in the week. I remain Ashalulu Afemi. Have a fantastic week ahead of you. Bye for now.